Would you talk a moment about March to the Top? I know what it is. What is it and what does it mean to you and Barbara?
Well, it is a change in life for me, and it wasn't meant to be. And at some point, I'll tell you a little longer story about a canceled Jimmy Buffett concert that turned into my 50th birthday to climb Mount Kilimanjaro with my family. And and as part of that, I'd been in Africa a number of times, and I find it, one of the most soulful places on earth. Everything seems to make sense, as you know, Peter, once you've spent time there. And it isn't the animals necessarily; it's the landscapes, the people, and all that. But it just feels like it's right, and that's where so many things began, and how that circle of life works and everything. So I'm with my family climbing Kilimanjaro for my 50th birthday in July of 2006. And it's one of those things you do in solitude because you can't really talk while you're climbing. And it was a point of reflection for me, and I literally relived all 50 years of my life. And I literally had this, enlightenment, this epiphany on the mountain. Well, just prior to that, I had seen something where there was a fundraiser for the Amboseli Elephant Trust that if people donated so much for each foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, they would take them on a safari. And so I said, well, why don't we do something for the people of Africa? Just kind of throwing it out there, saying we'll ask people to donate for each foot that we climb of Kilimanjaro, and then we'll try and do something with it. Well, sent it out 2 weeks before. The generosity was just overwhelming from people who just were touched by the fact that I was doing it and my family was doing it, and then we were actually going to do something. And then
By the way, I only pledged because I thought you'd wimp out after about 10
yeah,
feet.
well,
I never thought it would cost me that much,
I
but
won't tell you in a public forum what some of my partners bet on, but bottom line is I do have a picture.
More than you, Peter.
Yeah, yeah. But bottom line is that we then spent after the 7 days we then spent time searching out things that we thought would be that we might be able to make a difference in. And what we found was foundationally, health, education, and conservation. And what we found was the gift of giving that came along with it, and the people who ultimately you feel somewhat guilty. And Peter, you know this. You feel somewhat guilty about what you get out of it as opposed to what you're giving. And so it's become our passion project. And March to the Top's not that inventive. It's March to the Top of Africa, right? Which is what they call Kilimanjaro, the roof of Africa. And it's basically been, I would say a soulful lifesaver.